some people overeat and yet don't put on weight. You say, how are you doing? And they go, great.
한두 세기 전만 해도 등에 붙을 것 같은 백가죽과 선명한 근육선은 노예의 상징이었습니다. 하지만 지금은 정반대로 미의 상징, 나아가 여유로운 삶을 살고 있는 사회적 스펙이 되어버렸습니다. 살을 빼려면 덜 먹고 많이 움직이면 됩니다. 적게 먹지 않더라도 하루에 2시간 이상 꾸준히 운동하면 됩니다.
It's also true that if you ingest fewer calories than you burn, that you will lose weight and that a significant portion of that will come from body fat. But that simple formula is important.
근데 그게 안 되는 이유는 주어진 시간에 해야 하는 일과 임무가 너무 많기 때문입니다.
We are all time limited. We are not all so ready to embrace exercise.
게다가 특정 운동 종목이나 운동법을 이야기하는 사람, 체형, 체질을 논하는 사람, 식단을 이야기하는 사람, 보조식품을 이야기하는 사람 등 사공이 많아져서 배가 산으로 가는 경우도 있습니다. 길다면 길고 짧다면 짧은 다이어트의 역사에서 가장 억울한 주인공이 있다면 단연 음식입니다. 호르몬이라는 지방을 분해하는 역할을 하는 것이 버젓이 따로 있는데 애꿎은 음식만 먹었다 안 먹었다 하는 겁니다. 그러니 체지방이 빠지는 게 아니라 몸이 축나죠.
Calorie is a calorie as a unit of energy, but the calories burned portion is strongly influenced by a number of things that you can control. Most of what you see out there on the internet focuses more on what you could eat and should eat or shouldn't eat. It concentrates on exercise. Gardner Lab at Stanford and from other labs showing that when you look at different diets, you look at low-fat diets, high-fat diets, keto diets, intermittent fasting, provided people stick to their particular diet, it doesn't really matter which diet you follow. You can still get a caloric deficit and you get weight loss. The burn factor, your thermogenic environment, is one of the, if not the most important factors in this business of fat loss.
신체 구조상 체지방을 빼기 위해서는 신경계를 이해해야 합니다. 지방을 분리하기 위해 2가지를 해야 하는데요. 바로 지방 가동화와 지방 산화입니다. 지방 가동화는 말 그대로 지방세포 안에 있던 지방을 옮기는 것입니다.
So the first thing that has to happen for body fat to get burned up is that it has to get mobilized. And that's a process called lipolysis. You have to get it out of the fat cells. But basically, stored fat has 2 parts that are relevant here. It's got the fatty acid part, and that's the part that your body can use, and that's attached to something called glycerol, and they're linked by a backbone. What you want is you want to break the backbone. So that's accomplished by an enzyme called lipase, and then they can travel and be used for energy.
정확히 말해 지방산을 세포에서 옮겨 혈액 중에 흐르도록 해야 합니다. 지방을 옮기는 데서 끝나면 안 됩니다. 에너지원으로 쓰도록 해야 하는데요. 그 과정이 바로 oxidation, 산화입니다.
They're just potential fuel, but you haven't burned the fat yet. You've just moved it out of your fat cells. You need to oxidize them. Think oxidation is the burn-up part. They need to be moved into the mitochondria, and then they can be converted into ATP, into energy. If you just mobilize it and you don't convert it into energy, you don't oxidize it, it can be returned to body fat. And many of the things that the nervous system can do is to increase the mobilization of fat, but also the oxidation of fat. Okay, so you have 2 opportunities to burn more fat, and both of those opportunities are governed by your nervous system.
그래서 가장 좋은 방법은 몸을 움직이는 겁니다. 운동을 꾸준히 하는 사람들은 운동이 정답이라고 생각하지만 모든 사람에게 맞는 방법이 아닐 수도 있습니다. 지방을 빼기 위해서 운동과는 다른 개념인 움직임에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다. 첫 번째, 피제팅입니다. 피제팅이란 스타카토처럼 안절부절 못하고 움직이는 모습을 말합니다.
There was a group in England during the 1960s and 70s that discovered a pathway by which subtle forms of movement can greatly increase fat loss. They were aware that some people overeat and yet don't put on weight. Other people overeat even just a little bit and they seem to accumulate extra. What they did was they examined people who overate and did not gain weight. And what they observed was that those people engaged in lots of subtle movement throughout the day. In other words, they were fidgeters. Moving around a lot, even if those are subtle movements, greatly increases the amount of energy that you burn. Fidgeters stand up very quickly at the end of a lecture, right? You say, how are you doing? And they go, great.
그래도 그렇게 조금 움직인다고 살이 빠져요? 차라리 숨 쉬는 것도 운동이라고 하지 그래요. 하실 수 있습니다.
tapping the pen, this kind of thing. It's not the kind of caloric burn that we normally think of like, oh, you're running, lifting weights, swimming, yoga, etc. Low-level movements, they trigger epinephrine release from these neurons, and they stimulate the mobilization of fat. And then that fat is oxidized at higher rates.
시합에 나가고 바디 프로필을 찍을 만큼 조각 몸매를 만드는 것이 목표가 아닌 운동할 시간과 여력이 없는 일반인들에게는 피제팅이 도움이 될 것입니다. 그리고 특별히 피제팅은 과체중인 사람들에게 효과가 아주 좋다고 합니다.
As I have a family member who has been slowly coaxed into exercise, but if I were to tell her, for instance, you need to fidget more, she'd probably go for it. People that stand up and sit down a lot throughout the day, and people that pace burn anywhere from 800 to 2,500 calories more than Troll Group in the experiments that they looked at. If you're really interested in burning calories and you already exercise, you want to burn more, or you don't have the opportunity to exercise, fidgeting movements, staccato movements, standing up, walking around, pacing are actually mobilizing and oxidizing a lot of fat and a lot of energy.
두 번째 움직임은 shivering입니다. 피제팅과 별개로 추울 때 떠는 동작으로도 지방을 제거할 수 있습니다. 근데 제대로 알고 해야 합니다.
When you get into cold and you shiver, that low-level movement of the muscle, those small movements, triggers the release of a molecule called succinate. And succinate acts on the brown fat to increase brown fat thermogenesis and fat burning overall. So first, let's talk about how long to get into that cold environment. Most of you might think, oh, well, if 1 minute is good, 3 minutes is better, and if 3 minutes is better, then 10 minutes is best. Just cold enough to be uncomfortable is a good place to start. So for some of you, that's going to be 60 degrees. For some of you, that's going to be 55 degrees. For some of you, it's going to be high 30s, right? Depends on how cold adapted you are, and people vary in terms of how well they tolerate the cold. So what you need to do is find a temperature that you can get into probably 1 to 3 times a week if you really want this to accelerate fat loss. And you want to get in until you just start to shiver, and then you want to get out and not dry off. 1 to 3, maybe 5 times a week. Get under the shower, or whatever it is, until you start to shiver, genuinely shiver. After about a minute or so, get out, spend 1 to 3 minutes out, but don't dry off. Get back in for anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, but try and access the shiver point again. And you might do 3 repetitions of that. So it's 3 times in and 3 times out total.